You're watching CW Montana. This is the MTN 9 o'clock news.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on this Monday. I'm Andrea Lutz. Snowfall and cold temperatures to report on across the state of Montana. But first, a sexual harassment claim involving two Montana legislatures come to light. We'll have the details ahead. Plus, a second Bozeman high school now has a name and a new mascot. We'll tell you what they are coming up. And no two Montana communities are exactly the same, but tonight they're pretty much all covered in snow, as they have that in common. We do start tonight in Billings, where 5 new inches of snowfall has fallen in the last 24 hours, and more is on the way. But the western areas of our state are seeing massive snowfall totals and, of course, blizzard-like conditions. We get a check-in now from our MTN colleagues across Montana.
I'm Brandon Michaels with KRTV in Great Falls. It's been snowing here all day long and the snow continues to fall. We've seen several inches of snow making for some very slippery roads, and we've seen some crashes too, even one between a plow and a semi-truck.
I'm meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz here at the Capitol, where a lot of the area has been buried by between 12 and 18 inches of snow, and the snow is still coming down. Temperatures have been brutally cold all day long, not getting above zero. Our current wind chill is right around 25 to 30 degrees below zero, and on some of the mountain passes, those wind chills have been as cold as 45 degrees below zero. A very dangerous day with difficult travel throughout the area.
I'm meteorologist Mike Hurd in Bozeman. Take a look at our snow total so far, and it's still snowing in many areas, but most of our valleys are coming in around 10 to 15 inches both west and east of the Continental Divide, and we're expecting more snow in this region over the next 24, 48, maybe even into 72 hours. Another big dumping is possible.
I'm meteorologist Aaron Yost in Missoula, and it has been a day across western Montana, especially west central and southwest Montana. Snowfall reports in and of itself very impressive. We've seen a half a foot to a foot plus in various locations, but the wind has been the biggest issue. We had blizzard warnings out for the Missoula and Bitterroot valleys earlier this evening, so blowing and drifting that snow around. The drifts are starting to get pretty big. This is really nothing in comparison to what's being reported across various areas here in western Montana. Thankfully, things slowly winding down as we head into the overnight hours.
I don't hear her.
Go over there with your mic and stand next to her, please.
Border is also experiencing some. There we go. We've got a mic now. All right, so Bozeman Pass. There we go. Some areas of no visibility. Allowing yourself some extra time is probably wise in that situation. And MDT also says clear off your car, turn off your cruise control, and buckle up for travel. In the Great Falls area, the highway was blocked and traffic backed up when a semi hauling hay caught fire after colliding with a snowplow on Highway 89. The snow plow was rear-ended near mile marker 87 at Stocktick and Highwood turnoff. That happened around 2:45 this afternoon. Great Falls Fire Rescue, Sand Coulee Fire, and MHP, along with Cascade County deputies, responded to that crash. The semi caught fire, it burned the cab, and then spread to the hay. There was nobody else that was injured in that crash. The family of a Blackfeet man who went missing near Browning says that he has died. This after a statewide missing and endangered persons advisory was issued this morning. The body of Wayne Many Guns was found near Browning. The Department of Justice canceled that advisory at 2 p.m. Many Guns was last seen on February 21st. The FBI is investigating but declined to comment on how many guns died. And we'll update you, of course, with any information on that. At the Montana legislature, leaders are charging ahead on a new anti-harassment policy. This following a sexual harassment claim involving two legislators. The claim happened more than a year ago, and the complaint was made by, or I should say against, Democrat Representative Jonathan Windyboy of Box Elder. Windyboy declined to comment today to MTN News, but did indicate that a response was coming later. The legislature released a 5-page report on the complaint filed by a female legislator. The document reveals several text messages sent in 2017 where Windy Boy told the woman, "You are gorgeous as always, and you're always a wonderful sight for my sore eyes." There is now a call for legislative leadership to take action, some calling the behavior unacceptable. A Montana lawmaker is urging the Bureau of Land Management to block changes made to grazing permits requested by the American Prairie Reserve. American Prairie Reserve requested to expand its bison grazing on BLM and state grazing lands. It would take place near the Upper Missouri River Breaks and the Charles M. Russell Wildlife Refuge. The measure would also allow for year-round bison grazing. Opponents worry, though, that the change could lead to overgrazing and destruction of nearby property. But if passed, the resolution heads to members of Congress and the Department of Interior, as well as BLM. This week marks the middle of the legislature, also known as Transmittal Week. As MTN's Mike Dennison reports, it's a frantic week with long hours, short hearings, big deadlines, and a lot of bills.
The 2019 legislature hits its halfway mark on Saturday, and if a general bill doesn't make it out of its original house by that day, the transmittal deadline, it's pretty much dead. With that deadline looming, scores of bills and their sponsors are making a last-minute push to survive. Even a sub-zero snowstorm didn't keep citizens away Monday, which began with packed committee hearings and long agendas. The 62 bills heard in committee Monday included one to allow legislators to carry concealed weapons in the Capitol. Sponsor Roger Webb of Billings said the lack of security at the Capitol means lawmakers should have the option of protecting themselves with a gun.
It's not a matter of when, because it's going to happen. We are the softest target this time of year in the state. People walk in this facility every day with a firearm.
The House Business and Labor Committee heard emotional testimony on a bill to increase the minimum required coverage levels for car insurance in Montana. Edward Morris of Bozeman, struck by a car in 2017 while he rode his bike, later discovered the driver had only the legal $25,000 minimum of coverage for Morris's injuries.
I was rushed to the hospital. My life was hanging by a thread. I was rushed into surgery. After I was getting released from the hospital, I received this punch in the gut from the financial people at the hospital that my bill was close to $160,000.
Insurance industry lobbyists lined up against it, saying it would raise premiums on car insurance and lead to more uninsured drivers. The House Judiciary Committee also heard a half dozen bills Monday, including 3 to limit required vaccinations. Most of these bills have until Wednesday to clear a committee, after which the House and Senate go to all-day floor sessions to handle the crunch of bills trying to make Saturday's deadline.
We always want to make sure every bill has a fair hearing and adequate time. However, when we're up against a deadline, sometimes time limits are basically constrained by what's in the committee at that time.
Some of these bills will make it. Some of them won't. And if they do, they still have the next House to navigate. Let's just say by Saturday, there will be a lot fewer bills alive than there are today. Reporting from the Capitol, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Lawmakers break for 5 days after reaching Saturday's midway point. That's before they return to start the last half of the legislative session. A Montana Navy SEAL and Purple Heart recipient is thanking Florida residents who came to his aid after a plane crash which landed in a Florida home. Tim Sheehy is a student pilot, survived over the weekend with only minor injuries from that. Authorities say the Florida flight instructor was killed when that small plane lost power and landed in that home. Everyone in the house survived, even a 17-year-old girl who was in a bedroom at the time. She was pinned and trapped until emergency crews arrived. Sheehy told a Billings radio station that the neighborhood deserves credit for their selfless acts of bravery after the crash. He also said there are many courageous people, and that was a rough day. And he says that it could have been much worse. He adds to this statement that you see right there, "I'm thankful there weren't more people in the home." Well, tonight, just hours ago, Bozeman School Board trustees approved the new name of the second high school in Bozeman. They're going to call it West Slope High School. The board went with this option because of Montana's state fish, the West Slope cutthroat trout. The mascot, though, and the colors, they're still being decided. That should happen on March 11th. So if you still want to vote, you still have some time. The board also voted on 2 new high school principals. Dan Mills will be the principal of Bozeman High, and Erica Schnee will be the principal of West Slope High School. She is currently the assistant principal for Bozeman High School. Still to come on tonight's MTN 9 o'clock news, Montana has one of the highest fatality rates for teens. We're going to meet some Helena High School students heading to the Capitol in hopes of changing that. That story is ahead. And as you can imagine, our forecaster, Bob McGuire, he has been a busy man today. When we come back, he has more on the weather that you're experiencing in your side of the state, plus what's to come. We'll be right back.